Inside the Triangle, the Decker Truckline Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inside the Triangle. I am Darin Ladlie, and today we have a couple of guests to talk about some interesting news that's happening and has happened with Decker Truckline. I have Patrice and I have Rick George. So everybody knows Patrice. So Patrice, what do you do here? What's your main title? What's the job you do?
Everybody knows me for good and bad.
Yes.
My title actually is Director of Driver Development. And I kind of oversee the Smart Drive right now and transitioning to Lytx that we're going to talk about. And I'm also responsible of the lease, something that you're very familiar with.
No, I forgot it all.
Yeah. And then also the Driver Advisory Council, and then once a year, the Truck Driving Championships.
Okay, and we're going to talk about that today too also. Yeah. We had great results from the Montana and the Iowa championships that were just held. Rick George, is it Vice President of Safety?
It is.
What do you do, Rick?
I run the safety department on those days that it doesn't run me.
They're here to talk about, so let's start off. Patrice, you mentioned the new cameras, Lytx. I've actually have one in my truck. I don't notice any difference. I really don't.
That's what we were going for.
Yeah. I mean, it does talk to me. Sometimes, we talk back and forth to each other once in a while. I'm sure you've seen the video of me talking to it. But it's.
Well, actually, you shouldn't see any differences just because, first of all, it's a camera like we have with Smart Drive. Well, actually, you shouldn't see any lights on your event recorder.
Unfortunately, I do.
How many of them?
I get a green one just about all the time. Once in a while, I'll get a blue one. Usually, I think from what I understand, I think that's powering on and off is the blue. And then when she talks to me and we sweet talk each other, I get green lights that kind of go like this while she's talking. Forth. Yeah, back and forth. Yeah. They're not distracting. They really aren't. If she's talking to me, I look up, the green lights are on. Other than that, I don't even notice it.
Yeah, the only one you should see is actually that green light. You shouldn't see any other lights.
Okay.
We have taken them out just because there was a distraction on the Smart Drive event recorder. Now, without any lights, you should just see the box.
Okay. Well, mine may because it was the number one put in that's why it's still doing it. So It doesn't bother me. So you don't need to change it. So
we'll change it.
No. It doesn't distract me at all. I don't even notice that they're there. I mean, I really don't. So
now, another big difference between the two that you don't see actually is that the Lytx box is actually a machine vision artificial intelligence. So it will read your head movement. So if you're falling asleep, and you're dozing off or whatever, or you're distracting by the phone, you're looking at the phone or something, it will read that. And it will, obviously, the nice lady will talk to you and say, hey, distracted.
And I would suggest maybe it could be just a tad bit louder. Because mine is, I can hear it, but...
Rick, maybe do we have any budget for hearing aids?
Well, now you're on to something there. I guarantee you that's probably what it is the hearing part, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you for... No, I'm serious. I need hearing aids. I know I do.
But in any case, I think those are the two big differences between the two systems.
Well, the camera's different, right?
There's some back-end enhancements. The video that comes through will be higher resolution. There's more frames per second. So we'll be able to read license plates. So if somebody tags you, we can read their license plate as they drive away. We couldn't do that before. Same way with some of the signage on the trucks. If they hit you in a parking lot and drive away, we couldn't read who that was, and we should be able to now. So that's one of the enhancements. Another enhancement is at some point we'll be able to do remote coaching. So when a driver's taking his 30-minute break or his 10-hour break, he can call and talk to Patrice, and Patrice can share videos with the driver on his tablet. And we can do remote coaching, so a driver won't have to come into Fort Dodge to do that. So I think that's a big advantage. And the Smart Drive technology was 5 years old, and this is state of the art. So it's just a big improvement over what we have.
Speaking of Smart Drive then, so since Smart Drive we're phasing out, what about the Smart Drive score? Is that going to change to a Lytx score? How do we know how that's different yet?
In the transition period, while we're running both units, while we're getting all the trucks switched over to Lytx, we've developed an algorithm so we can take a Lytx score and run it through that algorithm and make it very similar to the Smart Drive score. Once we get everybody's transition to Lytx, then we'll go to a Lytx score. And there'll still be right now we call it the Smart Drive bonus. We'll still have that. The scoring will be different. The criteria will be the same, although the point threshold will be changed to match the performance that you have with Smart Drive.
So do we have a projection date? How are we coming on getting the shops ready to start installing the event recorders?
The shop has finished their TIB, which is essentially the technician's instructions for installing the unit. So that's done. So we're very close to starting our mass install. We've had, you've had your event recorder installed for a month or so,
at
6
least,
weeks
yeah.
maybe. And we did that with 25 trucks. We did 5 of each model truck that we had, 5 of the 389s, 5 of the 579s, 5 Freightliners, 5 each of the 2 Volvos that we had. So we had 25 units installed. And that was enough for the shop to get their TIB because there's a different one for each model truck. So those are done now. And we've had a chance with the benefit of you and the 24 other drivers to kind of tweak the system so that we can make it as much like Smart Drive as we can, so that the drivers won't really notice any difference to speak of. I mean, there may be some changes down the road, but at this point, we just want to make it the same as Smart Drive with the enhancements that Lytx has available to us.
Yeah, like I said, I don't notice any difference. It's still there. It does its job. I do my job. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, I know at one point we had trouble with the AI would recognize when a driver wasn't wearing his seatbelt. And I think you had this issue because you were wearing maybe a high-vis shirt that was the same color as the belt on the seatbelt. And so it kept telling you, put your seatbelt on or put your seatbelt on or something to that effect. And we turned that off.
Okay.
We just turned it off because it wasn't worth the aggravation. You were wearing your seatbelt properly. You shouldn't have to listen to all that complaining from the woman in the box about putting your seatbelt on.
I thought I was at home with my wife. My God. I mean, but no, yeah. And I understand that AI technology is really cool. I'll swear to it that, I mean, she's pretty smart.
And so as technology improves, we may turn that back on at some point in time. We may not. We may be able to turn up the accuracy on the AI. We'll see. I mean, it's not our intention to annoy the drivers. It's our intention to help make them better, make them safer, which is what the seatbelt does in the event of an accident. It keeps them in the seat where they need to be to remain safe. So that's what we're after.
I would make one suggestion on the event recorder. And I know it has that panic button. Just it's the blue buttons up on the side. For me, it's a pretty good. I'm short and fat, so it's a pretty good stretch for me to reach those buttons. Now, taller guys probably wouldn't have much of an issue. I mean, I could do it, but it is a little bit of a stretch to reach that button.
I've gotten that comment a couple of times. I don't know that there's a solution to that, but we'll sure look into it.
Okay.
And actually, when you're pushing the button, it doesn't have to be at that precise moment. You can just push the button afterwards. It's okay.
Because the old one used to be a certain amount of time. It was 10 seconds before or 10 seconds after you push the button. Is this new one a little bit longer then, or?
It's actually shorter. It's
shorter, okay.
It's 12 seconds for the video, and it's 20 seconds when we request the video prior and after.
But we can go in and request video from farther back before the button was pressed. So if it takes you a minute to get to that button, we can go request a minute back and still get what it is you're after. And
I haven't had to hit it yet. I'm always like, if I'm in a bad situation, the last thing I want to do is try to, is that. So that's good to know that I can do it a little bit later after things kind of mellow out a little bit.
Just gives us timestamp.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and then we can look for more precise time.
And then you need to let us know that, you know, we went and looked at this video where there was a timestamp and there was nothing there. So you might want to give us a call and say, hey, look at that 30 seconds before or 60 seconds before I hit the button. That's what I want you to see.
Okay, perfect. So any other advice you want to give on Lytx?
Well, Lytx has the ability to live stream. So we could, in theory, and there are some companies that do, they can actually watch their driver driving down the road. That's a feature that we have turned off. That's more than we want to subject the drivers to. It's not something that we do. We're busy enough, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, but Darin, you're not that interested. So we've turned that feature off. It's not available to anybody at Decker Truckline.
So moving on, last weekend we had the Truck Driver Championships.
That's right.
And you were down there for how many days?
2 days.
2 days.
2 days, yeah, Thursday and Friday.
And who was our competitors?
So we had 6
Or not competitors, sorry. Who was our participants?
participants. Yeah, there was 6 awesome drivers, no doubt. We had Dean Felmer, long time.
How many years is this for Dean? This has got to be
19.
19 years of doing
19
this. Wow.
years, yeah. We had Tom Melton, driver of the year, I guess, last year on flatbed. We had Todd Ouverson.
This is his second year because I know he was all excited about it last year.
Tom also is his second year.
Okay.
So those were the 3 returning participants. And then we had 3 rookies. Even though they have many, many miles, they were rookies at the Truck Driving Championship. So we had Michael Graf, Felix Perez, and Michael Mertz. Okay. So actually all 3 of them are lease purchase drivers. They did awesome. Dean got first in a 5-axle van. So therefore he's going to Indianapolis for the National Truck Driving Championships in August.
This is his first?
Second, yeah. I think last one was in 2015.
Okay.
Then we had Tom Melton took 3rd in flatbed. So that's outstanding right there. Mm-hmm. That's his second year at the championship. So really good. The rookies did actually pretty good. Felix got 120 points on the obstacle course, which the highest you can get on the obstacle course is 300. There are 6 obstacles and 50 points each. So Felix, we did pretty good for his first year. Even though he was sick, I learned that today, but he did really good. Pre-trip inspection, they did. I think they all did pretty good. It was tough this year.
Todd said that was when he did it last year for the first time. He said that's what really shocked him the most, and what he really thought. I knew how to do a pre-trip, but then when he got down there, he realized that I got a lot to learn.
I mean, we would think of finding a bungee cord wrapped around the driveline, you know.
Wow.
So
is that what because I always throw that one. I think last year it was they didn't have the registration in the front cover or something like that on the trailer. Right, so bungee cord wrapped around the
drive line, and you had to look through the catwalk to see it. You know, that's the fun of pre-trip. Mm-hmm. You know? Last year, actually, Dean got first place in pre-trip, but this year we had 2 really winners there in their class, so Dean and Tom. That was on the Iowa side. On the Montana side, we had Lyle Turville placed first in sleeper berth, Ron Buck second in 5-axle, Roy Middlestead third in sleeper berth, and Donny Nealey also placed 3rd in flatbed. So they had actually 5 drivers and 4 of them placed. So that's outstanding right there, no doubt.
It is.
So will Dean and Lyle be competing against one another at the Nationals?
No, Dean is in the 5-axle and Lyle is in the sleeper division. So no, they're not going to compete. So hopefully we'll get 2 first place.
So when you say 5-axle, so I mean, isn't that the same, or that's a day cab?
Yeah, that's a day cab.
Okay.
And a full trailer.
Okay. So then Lyle's basically just has a sleeper on it. That's the only difference. So
it's a little longer.
So off to Indianapolis. When do they go to Indianapolis?
August 16th, I believe, and 17th.
Okay. And which one of you two is going to that? How come he gets all the fun stuff?
He's the TDC coach. He put in all the effort. He gets to.
He was in Florida with me last year. He was there. You got to take some of these trips, Rick. Okay, life isn't all just work.
It's not.
No. All right. Well, congratulations, guys. That is awesome, and keep up the great work, Dean. Yeah, 19 years. Wow. He's been here. Dean started just before I did, so he has to have been here 23 years, because I'm on just about to my 22nd, and so 19 of those he's been doing the truck driver championships. Wow, that's impressive. Very impressive.
Can I add one thing about Dean?
Yes.
It is I've been here 5 years almost now, and every time I went to the championships, his wife Cindy is there, and I think that's an example of support from families and friends. Cindy is always there to support him,
and kick him in the butt,
and she does that.
Yes. So, all right. Well, again, congratulations, guys. Another thing that just happened not too long ago was the Blitz. Okay. The 72-hour safety blitz that we just went through not too long ago. How did we do?
Decker Truckline did rather well. We won't have the national stats for probably 3 or 4 more months, but during that 72-hour blitz, Decker Truckline had 6 inspections, and we had 1 violation for an airline that was leaking. So it was 4 CSA maintenance points, and then 5 clean inspections.
5 clean inspections?
Yeah. And all 6 of those inspections were level 1 inspections, of course, because that's when they.
Mm-hmm. I avoided them I ran night shift that week. Just
a lot of people do. In a typical week, we probably get 8 to 15 inspections, but in a normal week, over half of those are level 3 inspections, which are driver only. So, so we didn't get as many, but it was more scrutiny in that they were level 1, where they checked, brake stroke, got underneath the truck.
Fine-tooth comb. Yeah. So, and speaking of that, Decker newsletter that came out on Monday, we talked about what our biggest violations are. I see our CSA went up, or is going up, hours of service.
We're at 67. We came down 1.
We came down. Well, I saw the red, highlighted, but that is our worst by far of all categories. Why? What's going on?
Most of our inspections, our most frequent hours of service violation is failure to manually enter load information, which is either bill of lading or shipper and commodity. Now, it's only a 1-point violation, but we seem to get lots of those. And when a driver pulls into the scale and they say, Darin, pull around back, we're going to inspect your truck, he punches in our DOT number. He, meaning the enforcement officer, punches in our DOT number, and he knows what our most frequent violations are in each of the categories. So if our most frequent hours of service violation is failure to manually enter shipping information, the first thing he's going to do when he gets pulled around back is look at your logbook and see if you've entered that information. In the same way that our most frequent maintenance violation is a flat tire. So the first thing he does is going to kick the tires. Mm-hmm. So, and I always let the drivers know that in the monthly update to the newsletter, so that they don't experience that same situation when they get pulled around back for an inspection. I want them to know what that is so that they can be prepared for it.
Well, and you helped me immensely because for a long time I only used my phone it's so handy for entering doing my loaded call, empty call, everything like that. And you pointed out to me, I don't know, a few months ago that even though I'm putting my document number in there, and I don't know why you wouldn't put your document number in there, the bill of lading number, you told me it doesn't, for some reason, even though it's a TransFlow app, it doesn't go to the TransFlow on your tablet. So I do my arrived at on there, but then when I do my loaded and my empty call, I'm actually doing it on the tablet now. And I did learn something because, Katie, I said last week that the one reason I like using my phone is because I can hit that little microphone. Because like yesterday, I had a Procter & Gamble load. I still have it on. That bill of lading number is like that long. And you're sitting there and you're trying to type it. Well, on my phone, I could hit that microphone and just and rattle it off. Well, you actually can do that on the tablet. It has a microphone button, and you talk to it, and it'll just automatically put it in there for you, and then you just move on to the next thing. So hopefully I'm doing better. I guess we'll find out if I ever get inspected, right?
That's the first thing we'll ask for.
Well, and then you also mentioned not having empty log sheets.
In the very back of the 3-ring binder portion of the permit book, there should be 8 blank log pages. But I also discovered just here about a week ago, if you have the Keep Truckin' app on your phone and you've taken the time to download it and enter the information that you need to, when you have an inspection and they ask for your 8 blank log pages, if you give them your phone with the app, or maybe not give them your phone, but show them the app, that will suffice as 8 blank log pages. At least, and I've confirmed that they'll accept that in Iowa, and I haven't got it confirmed in other states, but I am certain that other states will also accept that.
Keep Trucking app. Okay, I don't have that one, so I'll have to. I actually always made sure I was paranoid. I always have a full logbook. You go out to my truck, and it's up in the council up there. I always have a full logbook. So
and we have those available. If any driver would like one, we'll provide them with ones.
Now, flat tires. So our trucks are equipped with. The trailers are in automatic. Is it more trucks that they're catching with the flats, or is it the trailers? Because the trailers have the automatic inflation. Light should come on telling you got a low tire.
About half and half. Half the flat tires are on tractors, half are on trailers. And if you have a catastrophic blowout, I mean, the auto inflator's not gonna help.
Well, you can definitely tell it's getting warmer out because there's far more shredded tires on the interstates now than there have been in the last couple of months, because as it gets hotter, especially with recaps, their alligators are all over the road. So, and I've seen some really bad accidents. Interstate 80 has been shut down at least 3 times in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, just shut down because of accidents. And I'm all for the, is it IC, I think, that the Volvo has, but basically keep the distance and follow, and why drivers don't want to drive with cruise control on. And I know we have drivers out there, let the truck do the work. My mom always used to tell me, work smarter, not harder.
You have to ask our driver coach.
Patrice, why can't our drivers get that? Work smarter, not harder.
Well, actually, I noticed that they try to use the technology to their advantage. So in other words, if you have the cruise on at 68 miles an hour, they'll keep their foot on the throttle so they can circumvent the adaptive cruise. In other words, when the adaptive cruise gets you to 3.5 seconds, it'll keep you there, right? If you do not have your foot on the throttle. However, the new Volvos that we have, or some new Volvos that we have, if you have your foot on the throttle now, when you have the cruise on, it will get you back to 65 instead of keeping you up at 68.
Yeah.
So
and I have, because I do that, because if I'm coming up on a truck and you have your gap there, I'll do that so I can get a little closer before I move over, because otherwise you're 5 miles back and you're cutting traffic off. So if you move up a little bit, and I'll do that. But I don't know how guys can just ride with their foot on, and I know there's guys out there that do it. They just ride with their foot on the throttle the entire time. Right. That's got to be tiring.
Yes, it has to be. No doubt.
So any final words of wisdom from the safety department? We have a great group of drivers. Our safety record is improving. Keep up the great work.
Okay. Patrice, how about anything from you?
Yeah, they're doing great. I mean, overall, we have a great safety score. There's no doubt, and we probably spend 80% of our time dealing with 10% of the top safety score drivers. So we don't have enough time to thank the other 90%. And I wish, that's my wish, that I could spend more time calling those guys and say, hey, man, you're doing a great job, and we appreciate what you do. So I'm telling them right now,
Yeah, I haven't got my call yet. So I think, did you call me on my 18th anniversary? And for everybody here, it's 22 years, because they're going to give me my credit for my 4 years as an owner operator, dang it. So my true anniversary is not till July. So you need to change that. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Hello, everyone. everyone. This is Tammy O'Toole, and I am Vice President of Administration here at Decker Truckline. And first of all, I want to thank Darin and Patrice and Rick for all of that great information on Lytx. And I'd also like to reiterate what Patrice said. Thank you to all those drivers who take safety so seriously out on the road. That's so critical here for us at Decker. And I'd like to introduce Lindy, who is our queen of Lytx. She is the go-to person. She knows it all. So welcome, Lindy.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, so I'd like to first start off kind of following up with all of those things that Darin and Patrice and Rick talked about. But since then, we've put together a 3-page document that really details out Lytx. And all you drivers out there will be getting this, and you can review it in your email. You can also look at it on your Transfo app and on your Geotab tablet. It's out on the Decker intranet. So it's out there in many ways. That's the written format. But we're just going to go through it verbally so you can just drive down the road and listen to all the details about Lytx. So, Lindy, what is your part in Lytx? What do you do?
Oh boy. Everything.
That's why you're the queen of Lytx.
That's right.
What is Lytx? I mean, for somebody out there, maybe not a driver who's listening in a nutshell, what is it?
Lytx is what's replacing Smart Drive, and it's our inward and outward facing event recorders. We have a better protection in the event of an accident. It has real-time event triggers, driver accessible app, higher grade technology. This one has no lights to distract the drivers, better visibility, less obstruction, is able to read license plates, street signs, things like that.
Yeah, so overall, it's just a better system than our current system, which is a little outdated. So we are going with this updated system, and really basically for the safety of our drivers and protection of Decker Truckline. So I know you do a lot of coaching with the Lytx system and drivers. Can you go into a little detail about that?
Yeah, so I do coach drivers over the phone, in person, through Geotab, kind of just touch on things that we could be doing better, to keep that better safety score and stay better on the road. I also do everything within the site, and that is keep the site up to date, put drivers in, trucks in, whenever there's a change, I'm able to do that. Say there's an event on the road and the driver's uncomfortable, or even being maybe bullied for that matter, I can go in and find that video and contact the correct people. There's been many instances where we have had drivers get into pretty sticky situations and need help. And now with this Lytx system, I'm able to locate and get help where it needs as soon as possible, and able to see what's going on more in a timely manner.
So is there any disciplinary system in place now using the Lytx system?
So with distracted driving, that's not only just considering physically using your cell phone, that goes for looking out the window too long or looking down, wrestling to get something off the floor. It will tell you 3 times distracted driving before it will send us a video to coach. So Lytx looks for a pattern, and that pattern is 3 times before it will offload a video to me for the progressive disciplinary action.
Yeah. So a driver really has 3 chances to change any behavior.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So I know we've had a lot of questions on this. It's new to everyone, and whenever there's something new, I think our opinion, the more information we can get out there and explain it, the better, so that it's not so scary for all those that are going to be getting the new systems in place. The first one is, when will it be installed?
It's being installed right now. As of today, we have it in about 80 trucks.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's moving pretty
along.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah. What if a driver says, if my system's not working, who should I call?
You can call the driver coaches at 515-227-7285, or my extension is 2317.
Awesome. So that's Lindy at extension 2317.
Yes.
Why does higher resolution camera matter?
These cameras will be able to read license plates and signage on other vehicles as they drive past alongside street signs and better locations. And it's to better protect our professional drivers in the event of an accident or incident.
So they'll be able to read, you know, say the name on another truck or their license plates or
mile markers.
Wow, that's interesting. That's great. Another question I've heard, are we constantly being monitored by this system?
No. Decker opted out of the live feed feature. The video is only sent when a meaningful observation occurs.
Okay.
So that's going to be something that has like points associated with it or something that needs to be addressed or coached.
That's good. Great. So the live feature was not, we opted out of that.
Correct.
So, good. Another question we've heard, why are the lights on the Lytx system lit up between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.? Does that mean it's recording?
No. When it does that, it's doing a daily health check and looking for updates. When it goes off, it should only just flicker a couple times and then shut off. If you do find yourself in a position where it's not shutting off, go ahead and call in and let me know and I can have that looked at.
Good advice. Another question we have, is the Lytx system set up similar to the Smart Drive system?
Very similar. We have almost everything mirrored as much as we possibly could. Really, the biggest difference is the AI.
Which means?
Artificial intelligence.
Right. Okay. And also, if everything is so similar, why did Decker switch from Smart Drive to Lytx?
The Lytx system is more reliable, 5G versus 4G. It offers the latest in technology, keeping us up to date and less prone to faulty equipment. This update is essential in protecting both company and the professional drivers.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. When Lytx is installed in my truck, will someone teach me how to use it?
Really, there's nothing that you have to do or, nothing that you need to learn other than where the panic button is. There is no more keypad or anything like that. And then just learning how to use the Lytx app.
So never fear, drivers. If you have any questions, you can go through them with Lindy at the time, or if you have questions on the road, you can let us know as well. I have heard the question too, you mentioned panic button. Do I have to click that panic button if I'm involved in an accident?
No, you do not. That panic button is really, it's kind of just to your disposal. A good example that I had heard the other day was we had a driver pull up to one of his drop-offs and the gate was closed. So he was able to hit that trigger, show us that gate was closed and that he wasn't actually late for his appointment, that kind of was out of his control. Another good example for using your panic button is if you come upon a collision, say on the highway, and it looks pretty bad, that we can offer that to the police.
Okay, that's really good to know. Yeah, that's good for the drivers to know. Can Decker see inside the sleeper?
So the Lytx system is located in the middle of the windshield. When the truck is turned on, the Lytx system has a 360-degree view. The Lytx system shuts off after the truck's ignition is switched off for 15 seconds. You no longer need to remember to push in the codes.
That's good. That's good. I don't know if a driver ever forgot to do that in the past, but now they don't have to, so yeah. That's good. Does Lytx recognize when a passenger is using a cell phone?
No. A passenger can use their cell phone, and if for some reason, if it were to pick up something like that, it would just be discarded.
Right, that makes sense.
The only thing that Lytx really monitors with the passengers is their seatbelt.
Which, of course, is the law, so
right.
Want to make sure they're safe, too. Can the system really tell if I'm falling asleep?
Yes, the AR protects our drivers in case of fatigue by recognizing the driver's behaviors and identifying if the driver's head is away from the road for an extended period of time. So if you're starting to nod off, looking down, not looking at the road, it will notify you and I of that.
Does the Lytx system constantly beep?
No, there is no beeping and buzzing. We just use the audible alerts.
I think the drivers will like that.
Absolutely.
That was a concern that I had heard of before. Let's see, another question by some drivers is Bluetooth considered distracted driving?
No, it is not. You are allowed to use Bluetooth or hand-free devices in conjunction with the Lytx system. This will not trigger an event. We actually prefer that you do use your Bluetooth.
Good. That's good advice. How long will this unit take to install in my truck?
The installation takes approximately 1 to 2 hours. To reduce downtime for our drivers, we're doing the best to schedule it during a B service. As of right now, it's really flowing. We've got, like I said earlier, about 80 trucks that are already done. So they're moving pretty quick.
Moving right along. Good. Is Decker watching everything I do?
No, I, the queen of Lytx, do not have time to do that. So no. We do not have access to live feed. That's not something that we chose to go with.
Nor do you want it, I would imagine.
No, not at all.
Okay. So no, the answer is a big hard no on
Yes,
that one.
hard no.
Is there a Lytx phone app?
Yes, there is. There is one that you can put on your phone, and we also have one on GeoTab that you can access through there. And another question that I keep coming across too is, how do I get into it? And that login information mirrors Smart Drive's login information.
So these are some of the questions that we've been hearing from some drivers out there who have either recently had the system installed or who are anticipating installation coming up. Lindy, do you have any other questions that you have come across, or any other tips or anything else you'd like to share with us?
I have a few. Just make sure to take advantage of the 3 warnings that you do get from Lytx to correct that behavior before it does come in for more of a disciplinary action. There is the app on there. The app is quite different from Smart Drive, has a lot more to offer. So you can still check your safety score on there. You can do coaching on there, and that's really going to help keep our drivers on the road and not here. I can share videos with you, share your score with you, what has contributed to your score, and just do some better coaching through the app.
That's really handy. So if a driver is miles and miles away from Iowa or from Fort Dodge, they can do this over the phone with you. You can actually send them the videos to watch and
Yes.
do the coaching right over the phone utilizing the app.
Yes.
Well, we've touched base on a lot of questions that we've received to date. I'm sure there's more out there, so feel free to reach out to our queen of Lytx, Lindy. Again, you can reach her at 515-227-7285 or extension
2317.
2317. We just want to thank our drivers for being safe out on the road, and we are really looking forward to how Lytx impacts our safety scores. We're looking for improvements at all times, and they're looking better and better. So,
Absolutely. Each driver gets a fresh start with Lytx. Make
That's
the
right.
best of it.
yeah. So thank you very much for your time, Lindy, and everyone stay safe out there.
Yes, thank you.
All right, now let's move on and let's talk the good stuff. Money. Money. What was that movie? Jerry Maguire, Show Me the Money. So I got some money this week. You know why I got money on Monday? You know why I got money Monday today? No, you know why I got money? Wait, no, how do I want to say that? You know why I have money today?
Because of your perfect scores.
I did get a perfect score. Because you know what? I'm perfect. All right, I'm so full of crap, my eyes are brown. All right, first off, let's talk about the professional drivers of the month. So for the month of May, they were just recently announced. We have Midwest Reefer. Sam Nagayan is the winner. Christopher Eppens, nominee. Curtis Drake, nominee. Congratulations, guys. West Reefer. So Charles Gann, winner. West Reefer. Chad Hazelton, nominee. Wow, 2 big-time drivers of the year. Man, I want to see these 2 box it out. I really do. Let's put them out in the ring. Let's get a ring going. Anyway, owner-operator, lease purchase. Jerry Arthur. I just saw Jerry in the yard out there pulling a flatbed load in here. Congratulations. Midwest Flatbed, Alan Smith, winner. Southern Flatbed, Ronald White, winner. Richard Napick. All right, Richard Napick, nominee. Team, Dennis and Dorothy Nikes. Winners! Yay! Ding, 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 clap. All right. I love my job. I really do. All right, congratulations, guys. Awesome job. I will see you at the end of the year for the battle. We had 300 drivers that got a scorecard bonus, which is 44% of the fleet. We had 244 drivers got a safety bonus, which was 36% of the fleet. So that's that's pretty damn good if you ask me. So altogether, 429 drivers got either a scorecard bonus or a safety bonus or both, which I did. Congratulations. Let's clap. Thank you. All right. Scorecard bonus payouts. We had an average bonus payout of $190.53 for company drivers, $47,251.28 total paid out. 53 owner operators for a 230 average, and total payout $12,191.54. Safety bonus. I want to talk about the safety bonus. I know earlier we were talking to Rick and Patrice and everything like that. And I know, listen, guys, it's not hard, like I stated. The Lytx, don't let the Lytx get to you guys. I'm on it. It's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. I with my heart, I can't stress enough that it is AI technology, but it's not bad. It's actually very helpful. I'm amazed at what it catches, and it catches me doing wrong, and it doesn't judge me, and it's nothing like that. It just helps me make me a better driver is what it does. And you can't let it bother you. You really can't. So, yeah. And guys, I don't notice a difference between the event recorders. They're doing their job. And if you have seen, and I know you've seen it. I was just talking to Katie. I want to put my wife in the truck with me, and I want to mark every time somebody goes by in their car or a semi with their cell phone in their hand and they're watching a video or reading a book or doing something like that. How many? I bet you it's got to be at least 7 out of 10. Every driver has their cell phone in their hand. How many accidents have you seen? Interstate 80 has been shut down 3 times. I mean, shut down 3 times for stupid accidents with trucks. And I guarantee you it had something to do with cell phones. I mean, it's bad. And if you guys don't see that and don't realize that, you're living in a dream world. You got to get your head out of the sand. All right. And I'm done with that. That's my rant for the week or the month, I guess. All right. Bonus, 205 company drivers, 8309 average, total payout, $17,033.36. 39 owner operators, $95.34, total payout, $3,718.15. Katie, you know what? Let's go to work and keep the shiny side up. As always, thank you for listening to Inside the Triangle. Don't forget to subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening on. That way you will know when the new episodes drop. And remember, submit your questions to podcast@deckermail.com, and you could be featured on one of our upcoming episodes. The best way to do this is to create a voice memo on your smartphone, record your question, and email it to podcast@deckermail.com. Once again, thank you for listening. Stay driven to be the best.